The Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine has 2 more rounds remaining. Welcome to Hockenheim, where it is time for the penultimate round of the season, as our championship is separated by absolutely everything. I say that, it is a championship that is currently taking place and has quite literally nothing. When I say quite literally nothing, I absolutely mean quite literally nothing. Because it is 0 points after what we had when it came to the last round at Spain for Di Paolo and Slater. A few mistakes from Slater, meaning that we go into this round level on points. It is all to play for and everything is to happen. And, well, I'm excited to say, here to help me call you through all of the action in terms of what will happen today is Wes. I'm Omi, great to be with you. And Wes, well, we've got a bit of a delayed start. We've got a bit of a wet Hockenheim. I know we haven't raced here since 2019 when it comes to Formula 1, but for all of those F1 fans, I'm sure they'll all remember the wet weather stuff that we've had here before.
That race is still spoken about in the legends of the motorsport fandom. And quite rightly so. It is a legendary track here at Hockenheim, even though the much-loved blast through the forest, which were discontinued around the turn of the century, have now gone. The track that replaced it still throws up a number of great races in many, many different series. And you join us at a time in the championship, as Omi alluded to, where things could not be closer. The top 2 are level at 226 points apiece. 3 and 4 are also level in the championship. They are 28 points behind on 198 each. Them being Enzo Deligny and Pedro Claro. Pedro Claro, incidentally, coming off the back of 2 podiums. Deligny obviously winning race 2. And, excuse me, they've been a real surprise, both of them. They've been somewhat inconsistent at the beginning of the championship, but now seem to be coming on extremely strong. And it's Di Paolo and Slater up front who are really having to take it easy and watch out behind them. Because obviously any little mistake could spell the end of their title hopes. And incidentally, this week we found out that both of them will be teammates together in FIA Formula 3 next year. So they've got that to look forward to. So it'll be interesting to see if either of them manage to come together at some point in the remaining 4 races that we have in this championship. There's so much to look forward to, and I can't wait for it to begin.
Absolutely. We really, really cannot wait. As you mentioned, Rez, it is all to play for in this championship. And remember, we are coming to an end of an era as well, because, well, no longer Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine next year. There's a reason why we're saying it so much. We're enjoying the last few bits of it. Because, of course, next year we will get the series name becoming FRECA. And, of course, it will be completely FIA run. This championship is FIA certified, but of course it will just be more FIA control. And we've also, of course, had the teams announced very lately in this week as well. So we've got the teams that have been confirmed. We'll talk more about all of that because we've got a bit of time to do so with a bit of a delayed start. Pedro Claro, he will go from 6th on the grid. Important message to give you is that we will start behind the safety car, and I would assume it would be a rolling start. So it will be 2 FRECA races that will be having a rolling start in a row, because that's exactly what we had in Spain. And the message that we're also getting is unequal conditions, which I can imagine also alludes to what's on the grid. So it will be a rolling start to this contest. And with the weather here, I mean, it always can be the case that we get a situation where we need to have a rolling start. So it looks like we will be having exactly that. But we've got plenty of faces, plenty of new faces on the grid as well for this round, Wes.
Yes, we certainly do. Going through them now. Looks like we've got James Agozzi, the Red Bull Academy driver. He's come across from the Spanish Eurocup 3 Championship, where he's been doing very well. So he'll be looking to uh, show what he can do this weekend. And we've also got Enya Frey back in the car after uh, just looking now. They were at he was at Austria, so yeah, they're the returning drivers for this week.
Yeah, and they couldn't compete at Spain last time out due to an injury as
Decline.
well
Oh
that
no, sorry. Yeah.
take place as well. So that is exactly the reason why. But this is going to be then a fascinating race. Hockenheim always manages to deliver. We've had some special moments around here. Wes, I'll give you mine and then I'll let you also discuss yours. My one being Andrea Chimiantonelli's last lap overtake in 2023 to get Prema the team's championship. That was quite an extraordinary move. It was quite an extraordinary battle, all the way down the back straight into the braking zone, and that was judged to perfection, and I absolutely loved that in 2023 on what was our final race of the season. Wes, any others that you have seen across your time watching FRECA, or are you going with my one as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got to go with your one. I mean, they, it's been a while, like you said. We weren't at this track last year, so yeah, it's got to be Kimi Antonelli for me as well.
Yeah, Kimi Antonelli delivering all the goods as well. Matteo Di Paolo finding himself then starting on pole position for this race. We'll run you through the grid in a few moments' time, but this is going to be exciting. This is going to be thrilling. If you haven't been with us across FRECA this season, then just to quickly give you a bit of an idea of what we have had. Matteo Di Paolo won our season opening race. That was a race which Freddie Slater retired in. That was race 1 at Misano. Race 2 at Misano was a great battle between Gilter and Slater, but it was Evan Gilter who came out on top. And then it was Slater who came home to win for the first time, becoming the first British driver to take a victory in FRECA. He did that at our second round for race number 1 at Spa. Race 2 he retired, and it was Enzo Delaney who managed to take himself to the top step. We came to Zandvoort and we came to another Freddie Slater win, and he shared a win that weekend by Pedro Claro, a very historic win for Van Amersfoort as well. In their 50th year, they absolutely loved getting the top step there as well, and it was their first win since 2023, which also came at Zandvoort as well 2 years prior to that race. We then went over to the Hungaroring, where Matteo Di Paolo brilliantly took home a win. Race number 2 at Hungaroring was being led by Enzo Delaney, we would remember, but he then had an issue. He then went on to be disqualified as well, so he finished third on the road. He got disqualified, but due to an issue, it was Freddie Slater that day who was able to capitalise, and he went on to take that victory. We went to Paul Ricard, and Freddie Slater did the double. It's the only time this season where we have seen the double be done in FRECA, and Freddie Slater brilliantly did that at Paul Ricard. And then we had Delaney and Bora who took home the win at Imola. At Red Bull Ring, it was Matteo Di Paolo and Pedro Claro who got himself to the top step when it came to race number 2. And then at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, it was also another win for Di Paolo, and Enzo Delaney also went on to take a victory. Okay, well, the race is basically underway. We are ticking down, but of course it's not the proper start. We'll run you through that once the rolling start takes place. Here's your grid, though. It is Di Paolo next to Ashke Bora, Evan Gilters next to Freddie Slater, and then row number 3 of the grid, we'll see Enzo Delaney. He's next to Pedro Claro. Jin Nakamura finds himself next to James Egozi, who is next up on the grid, and then it is Tai Takato next to Dion Gowda, 9th and 10th for them. Kanatali is in 11th, and then it's Rashid Al-Daheri who finds himself in 12th. Ricky Liu is in 13th next to Yuan Pusue, who will go from P14. Kasper Stuka is in 15th, and then it is Nikita Bedrin, two drivers who've had a full campaign in Formula 3 in the past. Giovanni Maschio is in 17th. He's next to Hiyu Yamakoshi, who was on the podium in the round in the Netherlands earlier this season. Then it's Belov next to Nant Howard Bakhti. Bit of a disappointment for him in 20th. Eden Robinson finds himself next up on the grid. He's next to Jack Beaton. And then we find ourselves with Zenui Shi next to Al Masheri as well. Then it's Yaroslav Vasialo next to Anea Frey. Edward Borner is next to Tim Gayhards. And that is your 28 drivers on the grid for this FRECA race. We bring you back up to the commentary box, Wes. And, well, here we go. It is time for FRECA racing at Hockenheim. It's going to be exciting. So many chances to make some overtakes, and the push to pass has to be used as well to perfection.
It certainly does, yeah. We've got a packed grid, as you said, of 28 cars, 28 minutes left on the clock currently, although we are still under safety car, and a very, very greasy track, it has to be said. I was watching the ADAC GT Masters, which was the race on before this one, and the rain was incredibly inclement. It was inconsistent. The amount of rain falling at any given time was also inconsistent. So yeah, the weather here in Germany can throw up many, many variables. It's holding off for the moment, and there is definitely a dry line that has emerged on the track, on the racing line, which the drivers are trying to keep to, although a few of them running wide off onto the curb there. But yeah, so it's definitely going to be tricky, this race, once it does get underway. Still currently under safety car conditions at the moment, and the drivers weaving from side to side to try and get some temperature into their tyres. We've just had the message, though, from race control: safety car in this lap. We are about to get things going.
We are indeed. The exciting phase of the race is about to come our way. Here we go then. Just like we saw in Spain, for a lot of the Italian F4 racing, and also the second race of FRECA that weekend, 2 formation laps, and then the race beginning as well. Great to see that we've got such a close championship this year. I was talking with Wes earlier on about how special the final race of Monza will be. In the entire history of FRECA, we've never had a title fight go down to the final race. I know the history only goes back really to 2021 if we're actually going to Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. I know it has been in other disguise in the past, but we could have a very special race with it being our first championship finale fight. And also it will be our 100th race, the final race, and of course we end off FRECA hopefully in style. Monza always manages to deliver, but that's Monza. We are about to go racing here in Germany, and it is Matteo Di Paolo who is backing the field up. It is time then to go racing at Hockenheim, and it is going to be Matteo Di Paolo backing the field up. Ashke Bora will be in there as well, the RSGP driver, but now Matteo Di Paolo will bring it round to the final few corners, and it will be time to go racing in Germany in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Round number 9 is underway as we make our way round the final corner, and it is Di Paolo with exactly the jump that he was looking for, and in second place Bora, and then we'll find ourselves with Evan Gilter in third. Good restart from him. He'll try and go on the attack, but they're trying to navigate their way through cleanly at the moment and try and keep it on the road. They will be assessing what the conditions are like when it comes to racing speed, but they've all navigated their way through, and where's they're about to head to our prime overtaking opportunity as well.
Yeah, that's right. They are indeed. The that long hairpin after the kink at turn 4 there, and side-by-side battle now for second place between Gilter and Bora. Bora didn't get the greatest of starts, and Gilter is going to punch him for it. Going around the outside, Gilter runs off the track now, and Bora secures second place for now. And Gilter is going to have to defend from Freddie Slater, who now has the inside line. Freddie Slater up into third position.
Well, the defence opportunity wasn't even really there because of how Gilter was deep, and when he rejoined, Slater was already alongside. And Slater will move up then, and he'll gain a position up to P3 will go. Freddie Slater, as they try and make their way through. He knows that it's level on point. He knows that Matteo Di Paolo is leading the way, so he needs to get on with it. He needs to at least try be second place for both races this weekend, whereas Freddie Slater is at a disadvantage when it comes to the starting grid.
He certainly is, yeah. He didn't have the greatest of qualifying sessions by his own lofty standards, and De Paolo, with the exception of the race 2 in Austria, where he unfortunately retired, he has been on an incredibly good run of form now, very, very quick, and yeah, he is definitely going to take this one as far as he can, level on points with Slater. And Slater, from we all thought he was going to be dominant.
True.
A replay of it, I believe. Yeah, just making contact with one of the tridents there. Didn't quite catch who that was.
Absolutely. Looks like we have got Wes back with us. We momentarily had a disconnection. There is a storm in the UK as well that is taking place, which is causing all forms of issues. So apologies for that we momentarily cut out and we lost Wes. But he is back with us as well, as you can see on screen. But yeah, there was contact. One of the tridents there going into the side of Belov. That was a pinch point. You always get a pinch point in the opening sector of this circuit, and that's exactly what we saw. Okay, on this lap, Wes, Freddie Slater looks like he's chasing and trying to make an overtake now and trying to get up to P2. He's got Ashke Bora directly in front of him.
Yeah, Bora seems to have picked up the pace now quite a bit. Slater isn't really swarming all over the back of him just yet. But yeah, Slater definitely needs to do something about Bora up in front, because De Paolo now is starting to romp away up at the front. Yeah, the last lap, De Paolo was 0.3 of a second faster than Akshay Bora. The gap now up to 1.5 seconds. So yeah, Slater really needs to get on with it.
He does indeed. And will he be able to get on with the driver in third, trying to turn it into second place? That'll be his aim as they currently make their way through in towards the braking zone. Some side-by-side also taking place further back. There we go with Jin Nakamura, who is arriving into the braking zone ahead of Enzo Delini there. It's close further back as well as they try and keep their foot to the floor and try to keep these cars pointing in the right direction. Lots of battling going on in the mid-pack, which is really, really great to see at the start of this race. We've got Liu, who's trying to attack their Taito Kato as they make their way through.
Yeah, Taito Kato there, still running in 10th place now. And that's I think that's Ricky. No, that is not Ricky Liu, but yeah, one of the RPM drivers and one of the Van Amersfoorts. Struggling to catch the driver number there, unfortunately.
I think it's Stuka up against Yamakoshi in that battle.
Yes, it is. Yes, you're right. Yeah, Kasper Stuka returning to the championship here in FRECA once again. His main campaign this year has been in Euro Cup 3, where he's been doing very well. But yeah, whenever he's had the budget, he's come back over here to FRECA. So I think he's trying, hopefully, if his budget will stretch, to get into F3 next year, I think.
Absolutely. So it looks like Freddie Slater's close this time around. Keep an eye on Freddie Slater. Lap 4 quicker by 200s. Lap 5 quicker by 800s. Right now on the circuit, the Prema driver getting closer and closer. Does he shape for a move? Remember, it has been raining here at Hockenheim. It is tricky to go off the racing line, to dive bomb that you possibly could do when it comes to the dry conditions. So you've got to be cautious. You've got to be careful, and you've got to bide your time in this battle. Luckily for Slater, Matteo Di Paolo is not putting in one of the Matteo Di Paolo performances yet, where when he gets the lead, he just takes it away and builds a 5-second gap. Di Paolo is still there, so it's not as urgent. Slater isn't seeing Di Paolo completely pull away. So Slater can bide his time. He's got the fastest lap of the race previously on lap 5 there. So he is pushing on well, and he needs to try and recover from what was a poor qualifying. by his standards. A lot of drivers may have taken it, but definitely not Freddie Slater. Okay, we've had some battling that has been going on further back in the field. I'm just seeing that Bedouin's also gained a position on our timing board. He's battling up against Zeneri Shi there, so that's also been going on at the same time. Brilliant stuff. FRECA, there's a lot of fighting today.
Yeah, there certainly is. I think DePaulo must have made a mistake the lap before, because Bora's more than halved the gap that DePaulo had built up there. And of course, we saw Slater, as you said, Omi, put in the fastest lap. So he's really starting to hound the back of Bora now. So DePaulo's definitely not going to have it, going to have it all his own way. Unfortunately for him, as Nikita Bedrin comes into the pits for a front wing change. Clearly, he's had some contact with somebody. It's a pretty standard run-of-the-mill nose change, and out he goes again. But yeah, his race is going to be severely compromised now.
Side by side we run. That's close at the apex as Jin Nakamura still battles away with Delaney there. And, well, if they continue going at that one, they will be inviting Pedro Claro into play, the Van Amersfoort man, as they try and make their way through. DePaulo, well, has been losing time. A tenth and, well, very nearly 5/10 on the previous lap. So, I guess it wasn't a mistake, Wes. It just looks like Delaney and Slater have just been able to push onto the back. So, this is competitive FRECA. It is not one of those DePaulo drives. It is not one of those Slater drives. It is close. It is within range. And now it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to play out all the way until the end of this race. The push-to passes we've mentioned, the drivers get a certain bit of use of it, so they've got to try and be cautious with how they use it, where they use it as well, and you definitely need some saved for the end, whether it's to attack, whether it's to defend. And there we had a moment where we had a car off.
Oh, and I think that'll be who is that? Was that Beloff again? I think maybe, but yeah, a bit of a replay. I'm sorry, it was Al-Mashieh, just unsafely returning to the track after going off and made contact with another car there. So yeah, a bit of damage, but yeah.
Oh, Freddie Slater with a late lunge. Second place on for him, and he's taken it. He's taken it. That was so late on the break. Sorry to cut across, Wes. And also, very nearly making contact. Pedro Claro, though, up against Jin Nakamura. That was so close to contact. But Slater's now up to second place, and he's been able to clear Ashke Bora. Now, next up is his rival for the title.
Yeah, that was a brilliant move from Slater. He caught Bora napping down there into the hairpin, and yeah, just 17 minutes still to go. Plenty of action still to come.
There is plenty indeed. Apologies if the stream is cutting out momentarily. It does look like, yeah, the storms in the UK are absolutely not helping right now as well. I can't visibly see any rain, but yes, I am aware that the stream momentarily did cut off, and that might be why we are losing Wes for a few seconds. But yes, we are trying our best to keep this one going as, oh my word, Saka Al-Mashari into the side once again. He's battling up against Zenri Shi, and that was so close to such a dramatic moment. Well, here we go then. It is Freddie Slater up against Matteo Di Paolo, two contenders for the title as we've mentioned. They're about to do battle on the circuit. 0 points between them. What can Slater do? Di Paolo will be trying to use this opportunity to extend his points, but Slater will be going all in. He absolutely does that. He absolutely does that every opportunity, and this is going to be absolutely brilliant to see who comes out on top in this battle.
Yeah, this is quite literally the battle for the championship lead with just 4 races to go, including this one. So whoever finishes ahead will be the championship leader. It's going to be some real box office stuff now. Slater getting up close now to the back of DePaulo, going through the stadium section. DePaulo not defending fresh air there, which is good. That's you don't want to have your rival force you into a position you didn't need to be in. But yeah, Slater biding his time. He knows he's got time left in this race. He doesn't want to pull a rash move on DePaulo because it could go so wrong for either of them.
Okay, here we go. Zenorishi. Oh, he's already had so much contact today. There's so much things going on further back in the field. That's an air freight, by the way, he was up against. But it looks like every time Zenoroshi's in a battle. And now the RPMs were going for it. My word. Arriving into the braking zone, all out of control. Kasper Stuka going in very deep. But I want to cut to the front. I think Slater, that time by, had a good opportunity. He's getting closer. He's getting closer to his rival for the title. Matteo Di Paolo knows he has to defend. Freddie Slater looks to the outside line. Battle on the brakes, level on points in the championship. They're level together on the circuit, but Di Paolo hangs on to it. But now Slater looks left, looks right, tries to stand on the power. It's wheel to wheel between them as we make our way down towards the braking zone. Di Paolo will squeeze Slater to the edge, who's still got a nose in there. They very nearly make contact. They both come off the road, and it might allow Bora to get through on the pair of them. The two title contenders send each other wide, and saying thank you very much is Ashke Bora, who takes the lead of the race, as now it's still side by side, and Slater gets ahead.
Yeah, I think the stewards might have something to say about that, because Slater kind of forced them both off. He stubbornly refused to get out of that inside line there. Di Paolo was having none of it, and yeah, so they've both lost the chance of leading this race now. Bora has had that chance handed to him quite literally on a silver plate, and Di Paolo runs wide going through the final corner now and is under pressure from Gilter, who tries to take advantage of it going into the first corner, can't quite make it. Di Paolo runs wide onto the runoff area, but so far is going to keep that third place.
My word, it all heated over at that moment. My word, absolutely extraordinary stuff. It doesn't get better than that. Your championship contenders going all in. And, I mean, I've waited for Freddie Slater and Matteo Di Paolo to battle in that way. And remember, you have to remember, we keep talking about Slater and Di Paolo. If Delaney can get on with it, he has a good opportunity as well for this championship, as does Pedro Claro. Remember, our contenders are tied out in front, but also in the battle of a third position. It got so close on that lap, and now Gilter couldn't find his way through. This is the moment then where Slater was pushed out wide, and then he's going to have no control of the car. They both lock up, they both go in deep, and Ashke Bora has the best moment of his life as he stands on the power and is like, goodbye, I'm on my way to the lead.
Yeah, there was some real sort of Max Verstappen-esque like squeezing from Di Paolo there, but equally Max Verstappen-like was Freddie Slater, who just refused to be squeezed out. He's like, no, I am here and I will remain here. You are not going to squeeze me off my line. So yeah, you could absolutely tell that both of these guys are fighting for a championship. I am a bit concerned at the moment, though, by Di Paolo's seeming lack of pace. He's really fallen off the back now, 2 seconds behind Slater. Yeah, Di Paolo seems to have, I don't know whether it's worn tires or something to that effect, but yeah, he doesn't seem to be getting back into the lead or even second place anytime soon. Slater, although is definitely all over the back of Bora already.
He is indeed. By the way, car 3 has been given a penalty, so Al-Mashari has got himself a penalty. Okay, are we ready for 2 more drivers to battle for the lead? This time it's Slater diving to the inside, and Freddie Slater will take P1 on the road. A big chance for him with his championship rival struggling. Di Paolo's in third. Slater is in the lead, but he's having to defend it. Bora will try fight back. You've got a championship leader battling up against a driver with nothing to lose, and they get away with it this time. Nothing as dramatic as previously, and Freddie Slater hits the front of race number 1 of the weekend.
Yeah, that was basically a carbon copy of the first time that Slater overtook Bora. Bora just seemingly just did not want to defend it at all. I mean, he went to the center of the track, but Slater was always going to send it down the inside there. And yeah, that was pretty much over and done with quickly.
Absolutely extraordinary stuff then. Freddie Slater leads the way. 9 minutes to go on the clock. And this is why you tune in to this championship. We have had lots of races with plenty of lull periods, but it is all coming alive. It is all to play for at this moment in time. Monza is going to be getting interesting. Today is advantage Slater. It looked like it was going to be advantage Di Paolo on the evidence of the opening lap, on the evidence of qualifying, but Slater's turned it around. Tomorrow could be a different story. We don't know what the weather will do. There's so many question marks, and this is why we are witnessing one of the best, if not the best campaign that we have had in this category as well. So, let's now focus on the race at hand. Di Paolo needs to try and hang on to this third. He needs to minimise the damage from today, as meanwhile, Claro is looking to try and set up an overtake. He's trying to set up an overtake up against Jin Nakamura there, as meanwhile Aldahari's in a battle as well. So, while they're battling for the win, may have now calmed down with Slater pulling away. It is all to play for. Further back, Claro just looking to try and set this one up. He needs to place the car in the right positions at the moment. Can he try and get better traction? It was going to be close, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it on this lap unless it is something extraordinary.
Yeah, unfortunately, the RSGP civil war between Jin Nakamura and Enzo Deligny seems to be over at the moment, and Nakamura has very much lost that. The gap between them is a little under a second, but yeah, as you said, Pedro Claro, who incidentally is still in championship contention but hasn't had the best of races now, and he's sliding his way through the final couple of corners there in the dirty air of Nakamura, but he's all over the back of the Japanese driver, and yeah, looking for a way to pass. Nakamura now lacking a little bit of grip.
Absolutely, that is the case at the moment. So we find ourselves in a situation where Freddie Slater looks to be on his way to a victory, and a victory which will end up taking him to a 6th win in FRECA. Matteo Di Paolo trying to get a 9th podium today, and Ashke Bora, well, he's just going to be looking to try and end this one on a high. He's trying to chase podium number 6, but meanwhile, Pedro Claro, chasing the latest lunge, still couldn't get there, and these two have been going at it lap after lap after lap, and still it's not resolved. Still Claro can't find a way by, and Jin Nakamura will hang on, wait for this lunge. Oh, an attempted lunge. I thought he was going to go for that one. We got away with it, or I think we would have been heading to contact territory there.
Yeah, that was an incredibly late lunge into the hairpin from Claro. Nakamura would have had the surprise of his life there. He turned in and had to turn back out again. But the Brazilian Pedro Claro not quite able to make it there. But I like the surprise element. He needs to incorporate that a little bit more.
If Gilter's able to get onto the podium, remember it would be his first one since Misano. Misano, the race where he found himself winning it up against a battle that he had that day with Freddie Slater. Myself and Wes were in the commentary box calling it for you as well on the weekend, where we also held the Italian F4 season opener, where F1 and F1 Academy were at Miami. It was quite a action-packed weekend to bring you, and we absolutely enjoyed it and loved it as well. From next week, by the way, you can enjoy title finales. Some, including, this one specifically, most likely to have a title finale. I think for the rest, it will just be a finale. E4 could also have a title finale as well. But you've got 3 weeks of season finals taking place, starting from next week, where it is Italian F4, and then the week after it is GB3 at Monza, and then the week after that, it is FRECA and E4 at Monza as well. Misano will be the host of the Italian F4 finale in a week's time. So plenty of action to bring you across that. You can also watch F1 Academy this weekend at Singapore, where a few of our drivers are competing, including Maya Verg and Dorian Pan as well, or some of our former drivers, Dorian Pan not participating in the rest of FRECA to focus on getting the F1 Academy Championship as well. And Maya Verg also will be looking to try and do the same. And of course, you can also catch the MotoGP action, and the F1 Grand Prix as well, I think, needs the mention. And we've also got GB3. I can't just forget about GB3. You will get delayed coverage of race 1 of their weekend as well. So plenty coming your way on JB Motorsports. Have to say, Igozi P8, he's having a good race as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Showing that form that Helmut Marko likes to see so much, and yeah, hasn't done very many miles in this particular Formula Regional car. Although the having said that, the Euro Cup 3 car that he has done the majority of this season in is based on this one, so he's not entirely unfamiliar with it. But yeah, even so, in these conditions, which are still a little bit damp, a little bit greasy. Yeah, he's really showing what he's made of. As oh, there goes Pedro Claro now, and he makes contact with Jin Nakamura into the hairpin, forces the Japanese driver off. They're still side by side now, coming up to the right-hander. Claro's on the inside line, and he makes it past. But that was again another late move from the Brazilian driver.
Late and great, and position gained for Pedro Claro. Let's take a look at it again. That was so late, locked up, basically said I'm coming down the inside no matter what. And Jin Nakamura unfortunately having to go beyond the racetrack and then continuing on. My word, Pedro Claro is on it today, but I don't think Jin Nakamura will be a fan of that one bit as well. Freddie Slater doesn't care what's happening behind. He's loving life at the front. Bora's consolidating second. Di Paolo is getting closer to consolidating third. Gilter's still there, but Gilter more has to look in his mirrors as well to Delini. So we've got micro battles that are definitely developing in this field as well, which is great to see. 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock to go, and then of course we will have one lap beyond that as well.
Yeah, definitely. The car's starting to string out a little bit as we start to wrap this race up. Just 2 minutes of regular time left, plus of course the additional lap, and then we will be done. And as Omi said, we'll be crossing over to GB3. Keep an eye out for that. Yeah, it's got to say it's still a podium for Di Paolo. He's definitely not out of it, but it could have been so much more, couldn't it? And Bora's really impressed. He's always been there or thereabouts this whole race, even if he hasn't had the outright speed. He's been there to pick up the pieces, yeah, Di Paolo just for some reason his out and out speed just went missing at some point during this race. The form that we saw from qualifying just seems to have left him.
Really has. Okay then, the field continue to make their way through then on this circuit. We are sprinting our way closer and closer at the moment towards the final stages of this one, and it has been an absolutely extraordinary FRECA race. Such a interesting one to see how everything has played out, and in this case we have had one of the races of the season, just purely for the battle that we had out in front for the win. This is the penultimate lap. Next time by will be the final one of this contest. Can Gilter try and hang on? He's been a driver chasing a good result for so long, and he will be doing his absolute best to get there if he can. We've got 20 seconds remaining. This is the penultimate lap, and Freddie Slater just has to tick off now corners plus a lap on his way to the win.
Yep, he certainly does. He started this race, let me remind you, in fourth place. It was not a straightforward thing to win this race, but yeah, he kept his calm. He made decisive moves when he needed to, and yeah, kept his head when everyone around him was losing theirs. And yeah, he is going to a lot more thoroughly now establish himself in the lead of the championship. And yeah, Di Paolo is going to need a bit more luck in order to come back from that. Although, of course, he does still have pole position for race 2. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens with that as we go on to the final lap.
Well, we head on to the final lap, and the news that Freddie Slater wants to hear has just come through, that there will be there is no further investigation. There is no further investigation for Freddie Slater and Matteo Di Paolo. Absolutely the news that Slater would have wanted. We're on the final tour, and it is going to be no further investigation for that battle, the brawl that we had for the win, where the top two went off. Bora hit the front, Slater's retaken it, and now it'll be a case of just ticking off corners for Freddie Slater on his way to win for what would be the 6th time, as I mentioned, in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, and it would be a 10th podium as well. So a big win incoming as they continue battling further back. But for Slater, it is now just going to be a case of looking at the wet patches, avoiding it, just driving brilliantly like he has done all the way through. And this is going to be now putting Freddie Slater closer and closer to the spot of getting himself in the top 3 for most wins in FRECA. Rafa Kamara has 9. Paul Aaron has 8. Saucy also finds himself at that 8 number. Slater's about to get up to 6th. That will put him 4th on the overall list. But for now, he has gone and battled with Matteo Di Paolo. He's battled with Ashke Bora. He's about to take the championship lead for sure. He's about to extend the championship lead as well as Freddie Slater comes across the line to win for Prema at Hockenheim. Superb stuff. He takes the opening race of the weekend. Bora finishes in 2nd and Matteo Di Paolo gets a podium. Could have been so much worse, but he'll know that it could have been so much better as well. We're battling into the final corner of the race. It's going to get so close to contact. Al-Mashari's been off today. Oh, he's going to spin it. He's going to spin it and it's going to be into the gravel, just avoids the wall.
No.
And that is such a disappointment. He's beached it as well right before the finish.
Well, that just caps off what has been a horrible day for poor Mikhail Belov. For Al-Mashari. He's made contact with Mikhail Belov there. That's been a long time coming. We're seeing a replay of it now, and those two are not going to be the biggest fans of each other. We've seen a few people go off on this skid pan over the years, and Al-Mashari is he's not covered himself in glory today. He's had more than his fair share of incidents, and well, this really caps it off.
Well, I mean, nothing has changed at Hockenheim ever since F1 were there. The concrete ice rink continues to deliver and sends cars off into the wall in dramatic fashion. Disappointment for Shaka Al-Mashari, but Freddie Slater with an absolutely extraordinary performance, and now Matteo Di Paolo has to fight back. He has to try and take this back. So looking forward to seeing what he is going to do. But the winner of the day is Slater, and Freddie Slater has put in another great performance. As I've mentioned, he's closing in on the overall winning tally as well, in terms of the record that Kamara has. But this is going to be quite a lot of celebrations, I am sure, incoming for Freddie Slater and Prema Racing, because every moment of this championship is now important, Wes. Only three more races remain for this championship now. So it is all to play for, and it's Di Paolo now who has to get on with it tomorrow, fight back, and make sure that even if he's not ahead, he's level with Slater heading into the season finale at Monza.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he needs to get that aggression back that we saw a few races ago. As this championship is not to his lap. He needs to go out there and he needs to get it.
Freddie Slater ended as the winner. It was Ashke Bora in 2nd and Matteo Di Paolo in 3rd. Evan Gilter 4th, and then it was Enzo Dellini, Pedro Claro, Jin Nakamura, and then James Egorzi. What a performance by him. Taito Kato and Kanata Lee, your top 10. And then in 11th, there was Rashid Al-Daheri, then Yuan Pusue, and then we had Dion Gauda, Hiyu Yamakoshi, and then next up, we found ourselves with Kasper Stuka, Giovanni Maschio, Nantar Brembakti, Jack Beaton, Edu Robinson, Michael Belov, Enea Frey, Tim Gerhardt, Zenarishi, Edward Borna, and Yaroslav Vesilaho as well. But here we go, in Parc Ferme, celebrating as the victor is going to be Britain's Freddie Slater on top of the car, and soon to his Prema team And I mean, it's been quite a day at Hockenheim. It's been quite a day at Hockenheim in terms of the weather. It has been up and down. Well, we had a damp circuit, a dry circuit, but damp, of course, off the racing line, and it was over to these drivers to deliver. Luckily, the rain didn't throw any other curveballs or randomly spitting it down, but the ice ring at the end of the lap absolutely playing its part in the early removal of the driver of Sakura Al-Mashari from the race, not being able to get to the checkered flag. A lot of debriefing for Trident and Matteo Di Paolo to do, because Wes, when you find yourself leading, when you've built up a good advantage by a few laps, the standard of it, and you lose it, and then things go wrong, you've got to understand it when you're in a championship fight.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll want to know what went wrong and how they can fix it before tomorrow's race, and rightly so, because yeah, his pace just went somewhere. It just was not carried over really from qualifying, and yeah, we'd all like to know whether that can be replenished. I've just noticed actually on the Formula Regional stream, Freddie Slater's mother Olivia has been in the chat. And she is absolutely proud as punch of her son, and rightly so. Unfortunately, she had to defend herself a little bit from people who didn't quite like the way the steward's decision went. So, but yeah, she's tough, and yeah, rightly proud of her son's achievements.
Yeah, so well, I wouldn't be surprised if Trident maybe do try and appeal anything. I mean, in a championship, you know, we've all got our own opinions on it, and you know they both did go off the road. But I would say, from Trident's perspective, they might just go for it and try to see what happens, type scenario. Which, for a championship, I mean, every point is important, so I wouldn't be surprised if Trident do go for some form of a direction like that. We've got another race that is about to begin here at Hockenheim. I can just see the live timings have updated as well. So there's another race that's about to happen after this for FRECA. So for another series after FRECA. Our race will be, of course, tomorrow. And very early morning as well. Which is just absolutely brilliant. I to be fair, enjoy these evening FRECA races. Or late afternoon now here in the... You can quite enjoy them, to be fair. I guess it allows us to get through the rest of the day and then just be able to focus on this. So I actually quite like it, but yeah, it's an early start. Now, Wes, one of the reasons why we don't have an early start usually for FRECA races is because that's when they're qualifying. But in this case, we have had qualifying on a Friday evening, and we've had qualifying on Saturday morning, earlier on today.
Yeah, for one reason or another, the schedule's been incredibly up and down at this DTM event, and obviously there's been quite a few delays today. That's why the German GT4 Championship are so eager to get out there, because they are. I think we're running to a curfew as well, so they need to get there before the light starts to fade. But we're heading to the podium celebrations now.
We are indeed! And I can see a wet circuit has been declared, and it'll be 2 formation laps exactly like what we had for those guys who are just heading out there on the circuit as well. But a 6th win for Freddie Slater, who makes his way onto the top step of the podium. Prama's representative also in there as well. And brilliant scenes down there on the podium. Dion Gouda is finding himself on the podium as the rookie winner. Congratulations to Freddie Slater on a superb win as well. That was an absolutely incredible first race of the weekend. Luckily, we've got exactly that coming your way tomorrow. Whether it's dry, whether it's wet, Hockenheim has delivered in both conditions in the past, and I'm sure it'll be exactly the case with that here today. Freddie Slater getting a 6th win, and Ashke Bora and Matteo Di Paolo, Wes, not looking as happy, and I think that is to be expected, because they'll be disappointed. They'll be disappointed, because both of them would have believed, oh yeah, I could have been in that position, I could have been the victor today. So it'll be disappointment for both, but definitely not for Slater. He is your winner.
Yeah, missing pace from Di Paolo, and Bora had the lead handed to him on a plate, and yeah, still couldn't muster up a decent defense from Freddie Slater twice. So yeah, although they are on the podium, they're driving slightly second rate. I mean, it's kind of harsh to say that actually, but it's you know, that everyone was really outclassed a little bit today by Slater, and it kind of doesn't really show them in their best light.
Well, the celebrations are going to be taking place exactly at this moment once they've opened it as well. And there we go. The celebrations take place. But that is it. That is it from this FRECA race. My thanks to Wes. Wes, what is your final thoughts from this event heading into tomorrow? Unfortunately, you won't be with us tomorrow due to something called time zones. So you miss the GB3 race 2 tomorrow. You don't get to join me on the F1 Academy, and you don't get to join me on the FRECA. You will be back, though, luckily, on the GB3 Race 3 coverage for the Sunday. And you guys will also see Wes later on delayed coverage for the GB3 race as well, race number 1 of the weekend. So, yeah, Wes, final thoughts?
Yeah, the perks of living in North America when all the action is in Asia and Europe. But yeah, definitely this race and the championship can still go either way. It is by no means a done deal for anybody. But yeah, a significant step towards a possible title win has been taken by Freddie Slater today. The momentum is certainly with him, and yeah, the other drivers are going to have to really pull something out of the bag in order to halt that momentum.
Absolutely, and that will bring our coverage to a close from Hockenheim. Race number 1 is complete. Race 2 is coming your way tomorrow. We hope to have your company then, when FRECA will go racing for the final time here at Germany this weekend.